in the 8th chapter those things. I do want to bring one last point into our study, and it has to do with something that we had studied as we looked through the 7th chapter. It has to do with the number of words that are found nowhere else in the New Testament. It appears to interrupt the line of the Apostle Paul's argument. It has been regarded by many as a non-Pauline insertion, meaning it has been thought that it was not truly written by the Apostle Paul. But that's not really true. Verbal parallels with the Dead Sea Scrolls have led some to argue for its origin in the writings of the Dead Sea sect. But the passage is a powerful call for separation from pagan temple worship, and many reasonably be seen as a logical continuation of the Apostle Paul's exhortations in 1 Corinthians 8 through 10. The listing of the Old Testament text, some of which were employed by the Dead Sea Scrolls community at Qumran, only illustrate a dependence on the Old Testament shared by the apostle and the Qumran tribes. The demand that the Corinthians break with pagan practice, far from interrupting Paul's line of thought on the subject of the New Covenant, is actually his pointed appeal to them. This forms a fitting climax to the passage which began in chapter 2 and verse 14. And so here we have seen the change that took place is actually based in what we have read, and it comes from the Old Testament texts that are actually scribed in the Dead Sea Scrolls. We have been able to see that, and that is today's reflection of the Word.
Thank you, Richard. Join us again tomorrow when we continue with the next edition of Reflections on the Word with Richard Kay. For Richard and the entire team, this is Chuck Christie saying thanks for listening to this edition of Reflections on the Word.